Seventh, not checking whether the agreement is sufficiently stamped and registered or not. So this happens at two stages. One is at the contract execution, meaning signing stage. At the signing stage, a lot of contracts are fully executory in nature. If you studied contract act, you know where my obligations trigger in the future and they are subject to certain fulfillment of certain conditions. They may be fully executory in nature. Okay, now irrespective of that, what will happen is that at the time of execution, I have to check for enforceability, is it stamped or not? If there's a dispute, I know that this contract is going to be going in evidence. So at that time, I need to check that is there a stamping issue. A lot of times parties just do not register a contract where it's necessary to, or do not stamp the contract appropriately. They may use the wrong state stamp paper, they may use the wrong calculation, it may be understamped. All of that can happen. There may not have been a registration where it is needed and parties may have just notarized it. These things happen. Not identifying internal conflict or contradiction within the document or across connected documents. So there are two types of conflicts. Okay, you may use the same term in different contexts. You may have conflicting clauses saying if X happens, Y will happen. If, and then something else saying that something else is going to happen. Okay, so you can have internal conflict within the same clause within different parts of the document, or two different documents will be internally inconsistent. For example, if the bank is to take possession of security, then that will be written in your loan document that upon an event of default this can happen. Now that one, that the if there is an event of default, the bank will say it's an event of default, and if it's not rectified within 7 days, the bank can use its statutory rights to enforce security. And in your security document something else may be written, okay, which is not connected to your loan agreement. Then there is a problem. Okay, so this is also a problem a lot of times in dispute resolution clauses. When you have 6 documents and you have one parent document that governs the entire deal, you will need one disputes resolution clause in the master document, and in all other documents you will cross refer, you will have a cross referencing to this main disputes resolution document and say that this is the disputes resolution clause which applies to all disputes within the scope of this agreement and all the other agreements covered here. You will also have a very clear identification that these are called, one expression is called this agreement, which is the current agreement, whichever agreement you are currently looking at. Okay, then you will call one set of documents as, let's say, the transaction documents. In a transaction, you can have financing documents, you can have security documents, which are called separately. So you can cluster groups of documents together and then you can refer to them in one word. This makes your drafting much easier and simpler. Okay, non-identification. So somebody is asking me what to do about statute. That's here, non-identification of statutory provisions that are applicable and how they tie into the terms of the contract.